Hi, I'm Camille McKenzie of Camille Inspires. So glad you've joined me today. Today I have 3 very valuable questions that you can ask yourself in regards to the Kirk Franklin and Kerrion issue that recently has been appearing in the news. Listen, what has happened there really can take place in any particular family. So today I want to begin with really us looking within ourselves and to stay there. So I don't want any bashing or judging of anyone because listen, we are all vulnerable to these type of incidents in our lives. So the first question that I want you to ask yourself is this. These are questions I've asked myself as well. And I'll tell you about a personal incident in a moment that happened personally to me. The first question is this. If someone was to be a fly on the wall and to go into some heated argument that you have had, what would that reveal about yourself? What would that reveal specifically about you? Would they hear cuss words? Would they hear yelling and screaming and a tone of voice that was abusive and speech that was abusive? Actions that were just really terrible and just really were actions that were unbecoming of who you are as a Christian? What would they find? Listen, years ago, I had an incident happen where a phone call was inadvertently heard by a family member. I was talking to someone close to me, and you know how it happens that sometimes a phone can just auto dial the last number that was on the phone. And so this person heard the entire phone conversation. And I remember thinking that, yes, if that person was to listen, and they did, to the entire context of my conversation, they should have understood what my point was. But to not be defensive, my tone of voice wasn't good. The words in which I chose to use were not ideal. And really, I could have conducted myself better in terms of how I approached that particular disagreement. And so that has been one of those things that has stayed with me in terms of a place in my life that I have to learn. How am I interacting with others when there is a disagreement and when there is an issue in between myself and someone else? I want you to think about that. And question number 2, is familiarity breeding contempt in your life? What I mean is that someone or people who are close to you really just kind of get more the bad end of you. You're more likely to get upset with them, yell at them, or make them feel in ways that are not good, that you would not do outside of that familiar or close relationship. That's what I really want you to look at here. You know, years ago, this is way back in high school, and the lesson stuck with me. I had a family member's funeral that I went to, and in the home there was a repast and everyone was gathering, and co-workers in particular were talking about all these great memories of this person, how terrific they were. And yet I knew behind closed doors the family had a totally different picture. They did not think this person was terrific. They thought this person was abusive and that they treated their family in the worst ways. And I said to myself, oh my goodness, there cannot be that kind of inconsistency with who we are in our lives. There must be a consistency with who we are privately and who we are publicly. But sometimes those lines can easily be blurred. We have to be intentional for them not to be blurred. And what we don't want is to be a private failure, or, you know, in other words, privately failing with our family members, failing in our close relationships, in our friendships, but publicly we're a success. So we want to really think about that. Not a private failure and a public success, but both a private success in the eyes of God and a public success, integrity in our lives. Question number 3. Question number 3 is in regards to your heart. What does your heart reveal about you? You may say, what do you mean by that, Camille? Well, Jesus makes it clear that our words reveal what we really are, or who we really are inside, or that out of the abundance of the heart, our mouth speaks, and that literally our thoughts and what we're speaking is conveying what's in our hearts. So it's not enough for us to say, okay, yeah, I know that the words that I used in that argument or in that disagreement wasn't good. I got to change the way I'm speaking. I got to change the way I'm interacting with other people. No. We got to look much deeper. This particular question is going to the root. God wants us to bring our hearts before him and say, God, search me, oh God, and create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit within me, because this is where the root of the issue is. We cannot speak right. We cannot act right if our hearts really aren't right before God in specific areas of our lives. So I really want you to take a deep dive into these 3 questions and really go before God and ask him these questions and have him search you, because our answers and the honest answers to these questions will help us to improve our relationships with others, so that if there were ever to be a private recording of a conversation that we had that was a exchange between us and someone else, and there was a disagreement, that we would be thankful before God that our conduct truly honored him. So with that, I thank you for joining me today. I pray that if you have enjoyed the content today, or if you've learned something or gained something from this content today, please consider subscribing to the channel. Also, like the video and turn on that notification button as well if you subscribe to the channel. With that, thank you so much again for being here with me, and stay inspired. See you soon.